for visiting Rasa's the Dancer's channel. And Rasa the Dancer is gonna talk today to you about the feet. And it's not about the hygiene, it's about dancing, of course, because that's what I do. Now, a lot of you wouldn't maybe necessarily think about this, but you are dancing with your feet, so they are important. There's a lot of exercising and stretching that you have to do for your feet in order to have stability, in order to prevent injuries, and also in order to strengthen your feet, because Latin dancing especially is all about grabbing the floor with your feet for stability and for dancing, as they say, in the floor, right? So today I'm gonna give you 5 exercises and stretches on how to make your feet better to be the best dancer you can be. Alrighty, exercise number 1, it's actually warming up your ankles. Ankles are really fragile. It's really easy to injure yourself while you're dancing, so we tend to warm them up, whether you're running or you're dancing, right? So one of the exercises you can do to warm up your ankles is very simple. Have a look down. All we're gonna do is rotate our foot from down upwards in a circular manner, just like that. And of course, we want to do it both directions. If you click, don't worry, that's kind of most of the time a good sign. And then of course you do the same thing to the other leg. And then afterwards you actually can raise and do little rotations as well off the floor, just to make sure that all the cracks that need to happen, they happen now and not actually when you're dancing. Very simple, just simple rotations, but it will warm up your ankles and prevent injury whilst you're dancing. We warmed up our ankles and now it's time to warm up the toes. If you're thinking why, you will find out later if you stick around till the end of this video. But at the moment, this is a warm-up for your toes. Have a look down. All we're going to do now is press our toes down into the floor with our weight forward, and then we're going to come back and release. We're going to push our weight forward onto the toes. Can you see how I'm pressing and grabbing the floor? And I'm coming back. Pressing forward, toes, and coming back. Then after that, I'll do a couple of times just to spread and collect. Spread and collect. Spread and collect. And this is it. You do it for a couple of seconds and that's it. That's all it takes to warm up the toes. But it's really important, especially that grip situation when you're leaning forward and you're holding your weight with your toes. That's essential for dancing in general. So it's really good to get used to that motion overall. By the way, I forgot to tell you, but my feet are dancer's feet. I really wanted to show you properly, so I'm showing you my feet, but I hope they're good enough looking to not be turned off. But there you go. I wanted you to see, and this is what you get. All right, we are the exercise number 3, and this one is an actual exercise for your muscles, for your ankles, and for your toes. Really important for dancing, great exercise as a whole. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna open our legs just a little bit comfortably. We want it to be just slightly off our hips, okay? And if you notice my toes facing the opposite direction, they're not going forward or inwards, they're outwards, right? And now the legs are gonna be completely straight and I'm gonna start pushing from my toes upwards. And as soon as I go up with my heel, then I'm coming up onto the ball of my feet as high as I can. I stay there for 2 seconds and very slowly, gradually, I don't fall. I push my ball of the foot down first and only then the heel. I'll show you from a different direction. We open up and watch. I start by grabbing the floor and bringing only my heel up. Then I gradually go on to the ball of the feet. After I do that, I go down first only with the ball of the feet and only in the end the heel. I promise you, if you do this exercise 10 times, you will feel pain everywhere. In your calves, in slightly lower, It is an actual exercise, but it gives you strength and also it gives you control on that gradual coming up and down. Amazing exercise for dancing. In order to have a beautiful pointy toe when you're dancing, you have to be able to point without actually cramping. So one of the exercises I'll show you now is how to stretch your toes to the opposite direction that they usually face, and that would make you make a pointy toe. And I don't care whether you're leading, following, man or woman, everybody needs a pointy toe, okay? If you're dancing, you gotta have it, otherwise it looks ugly. So look down and I'll show you what to do. Okay, have a look. I'm gonna come into a normal position here, and then I'm gonna push my toes down. Can you see this? Not everybody can do as much as I'll be able to show you right here, okay? But if you can do just a little bit, that's fine, because that's gonna be a beginning. But then later on, you will stretch a little bit more, a little bit more, and a little bit more. You get into this position and you want to stay there at least for 30 seconds until you exchange and try the other foot. And then afterwards, what happens is, you see the pointy? That's when it's easier to point without cramping, because you already had an exercise. So this is amazing, and always remember you have to do it on both legs. I don't want to waste your time and do the whole exercise on both legs, but you gotta do it, otherwise one leg is gonna be more beautiful than the other. It's weird, right? And finally, the final fifth exercise is actually acceleration from the exercise number 4. The reason we do it last, because it's a little bit deeper of a stretch. But again, it's amazing to practice the pointy toe, and it's amazing to practice avoiding pigeon toe, right? So now we're gonna go down again. Excellent. And you know how we started with our pointy toe like this? So now the elevated version of this is to actually keep the toe as it is, and we start extending it forward when the knee is completely straight. Once it's straight, we push even more forward and we lock the leg. Now this position is not easy. You might feel like a cramp. If you do, you come back and you do your other exercise where you just stretch the toes, you move them around, and then you will start doing it again. Position, you stretch it forward, you straighten the leg, and you hold it for 30 seconds. And remember, whatever you do on one leg, you gotta start doing on the other leg as well. Come back to me. And that's it, right? That exercise, you will cramp now and then, no matter how good you are. But remember, cramp is not an actual problem. Don't push through it. When you feel it, just move away. If really necessary, massage your foot or massage your calf muscle, depends where you're cramping. Not a big deal, unless like it's a big deal, then go to see doctor. But you know, just do everything with like a normal working brain, right? And everything is gonna be just fine. But this exercise is really good and is definitely gonna improve how you dance. Can you believe we finished? I cannot. It was very quick for me. Maybe because I do it so often, I know exactly what to say, because I do the toe exercises and the ankle exercises all the time. If I'm constantly on a go. I travel to congresses, festivals, and I do a lot of traveling for different projects. So I'm constantly on a plane, on a train, on a bus, in a car, on a tuk-tuk or whatever, right? So I don't get the chance to do it, but when I'm sitting down, I'm flexing my toes. If I am like laying down, I'm doing my little stretches, yes? If I'm standing here now with you, you can't see my feet, but I'm doing this right now as I'm speaking. But I am weird like that. Maybe you don't need to do as dramatically, but if you do work on your feet, I promise your stability will improve, and the way you look when you dance will improve as well. And you will have such a better connection with the floor. So, this is it, and you know what to do now. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe.